Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. We're in the news today. There's an ongoing investigation to Compton police ambush that occurred this week past. An investigation is underway to track down a suspect caught on surveillance footage shooting two Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies in their patrol car in Compton. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, the two officers are expected to recover. However, they are still in critical condition and authorities are calling their recovery a double miracle. In a Twitter statement, the FBI in Los Angeles, California offered their resources and said to officials they stand ready to assist in the investigation. The shooting happened Saturday night when a lone gunman approached the deputies in their patrol car, opening fire without provocation. One of the victims is a 31-year-old law enforcement officer who is also a mother of a 6-year-old boy. She was shot in the jaw and in the arms. The officer reportedly called for help and rendered assistance to the other victims until medical assistance arrived. The second victim has been identified as her 24-year-old partner who suffered wounds in the forehead, arms, and one of his hands. The description of the suspect is vague, but grainy surveillance footage shows he is a black male around 28 and 30 to 30 years old. He was last seen wearing a dark clothing and driving a black four-door sedan at the time of the incident. On Sunday, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department announced they are offering $100,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of the suspect. The reaction to the violence in the community has infuriated conservatives and law enforcement advocates across the nation. A mob of rioters gathered at the St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood, where the officers were undergoing surgery. Some were heard yelling, "We hope they die." Boy, what is going wrong with these people in this country? And they crowded the emergency entrances of the hospital. The Sheriff's Department declared the protest an unlawful assembly and tweeted a warning to those gathering early Sunday to stop blocking ambulances. Multiple rioters were arrested for failing to comply with commands from deputies. Additionally, video footage of the witness appearing to celebrate the ambush shooting to incident went viral Sunday, sparking more outrage. Sheriff Villanueva called the ambush a cowardly attack. They're all cowards. You're correct, Sheriff. They're cowards. That's why they're out here protesting the street and destroying other people's property. They can't work. They're lazy. They don't want to get on work. They're just like the other do-nothing Democrats. They don't want to do work, but they can destroy your property and destroy the work of your hands. He said that a cowardly attack, which is a statement echoed by President Trump and his son Don Jr., who both took to Twitter demanding swift justice for the shooter. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department posted a message of gratitude for the tremendous outpouring of love, overwhelming show of support, uplifting words, and acts of kindness from the public as the investigation remains ongoing. Now, you see here, this is the Black Lives Matter protesters. Those same protesters, Antifa and all of them. They're behind, they don't care about you people. Please do not contribute to their organization. Please do not support them through the Democratic Party, because that's exactly what you're doing if you support the Democratic Party. We're not joking. We know what's going on. President Trump is going to reveal a lot of it in the days to come. Here's another shooting. A second shooting happened. In St. Louis, police takes man into custody after a 12-hour standoff. This is a white man claiming that he's for Black Lives Matter or whatever they're for. But they want to defund our police department. This report is somewhat affiliated with the OAN newsroom. But on Sunday, the St. Louis Metro Police Department confirmed to have taken an unidentified 43-year-old man into custody after a 12-hour standoff. It started after police responded to an active shooter call in a residential neighborhood. Shortly after arriving at the location, one officer was shot in the head and another was shot in the leg while tending to the first fallen officer. Please pray for the most critically. Actually, pray for both of the officers, but certainly the officer that is most critically injured. Please pray for him. And I don't know the condition of him right now because we're coming up here on, this is a Tuesday broadcast, so we don't have any more information on that as of yet. Chief John Hayden of the St. Louis Metro Police Department, both officers were rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, authorities said the suspect barricaded himself in a random house for around 12 hours after forcing a couple out of their home. Police deployed tear gas into the house and spoke with the suspect through a bullhorn in an effort to draw him out. When the 43-year-old finally came out, he appeared injured in what police believe was a self-inflicted cut. The suspect is now in police custody after being evaluated by local doctors. The St. Louis Police Force's investigation unit is conducting an investigation into the shooting, which the police chief said has devastated the community. A 43-year-old white male was taken into custody after a lengthy standoff with officers. He was taken to a hospital and evaluation and released to our custody. No officers were injured during the standoff and no shots were fired by officers. Praise God for that. But again, this is an 8th officer shot in the line of duty trying to do their job. That's all they're trying to do, stated Chief Hayden. And they're suffering under gunfire. We're trying to cope through a very trying summer, and it just seems very difficult. Well, we're going to take a break right now. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth.
Dr. Melinda Morris supports a strong economy, safe neighborhoods, limited property taxes, and promotes an improved education system. Dr. Melinda Morris wants to improve access and insurance coverage for medical care. Dr. Morris is pro-life and will support right-to-life legislation in Austin. Dr. Morris will remain true to her values when she is elected to office. She is going to Austin to promote life, prosperity, and personal freedom for the constituents of Senate District 13.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth, and I'm your host, David Colbert. Lawmakers race to pass government spending. You think? They realize that they're being hurt in the polls. That's why they're racing to do it. They should have did it months ago when it came out. With the November election looming just 2 months ahead, Congress is racing to push forward major legislation. While the Senate convened last week, the House convened for the first time since their month-long August recess on Monday. This is the last work period left before the election, with just 12 working days scheduled. First on the agenda is avoiding a government shutdown. Both chambers face a September 30th deadline to pass a stopgap government funding bill. Why are they just meeting in the middle of the freaking month? Oh boy, please vote those Democrats out of office. Give us control of the House once again. They're expected to use a continuing resolution in order to continue funding at the 2020 fiscal year's level. Democrats and Republicans have agreed not to include any controversial aspects in the legislation to avoid a stalemate and ensuing shutdown. Therefore, leaders of both chambers have decided not to include the text, the next corona relief bill in the spending legislation. Give me a break. Here we are again. The American people are getting kicked out on the outside. The fifth stimulus package has proven extremely difficult to reach, and a deal on the Congress and White House have been at odds over the legislation for months now. Last week, Republicans pushed a $500 billion package in the Senate in an attempt to provide some aid to struggling Americans. Did anybody hear the Democrats trying to push anything for the struggling Americans? No, they're trying to push for their Democrat cities and states to clean up their mess that they caused. I am so frustrated with this foolishness. We need to take care of the people. The government is for the people, by the people. That's why I appreciate President Trump. He is doing what needs to be done to accomplish the things in this country. Please vote Republican in the fall and November and get rid of these idiots trying to run our government into the ground. They don't care. They've already proven that they're anarchists, they're race baiters, everything else. They're bringing up all this garbage trying to bring us all against each other. But I urge you, American people, stick together. Don't let them separate you because of the color of your skin or anything else. Not even because of the parties. We need to do what's best for this nation. And what's best for this nation at this time is not a sleepy Joe Biden, but President Donald J. Trump. And I don't care whether you like him or not, he is doing things for the African-American community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, and also the Arabic community as well. He's doing stuff to help the people in this country. Yet you have people in Congress that are constantly trying to destroy our country. Then they go on to say, it doesn't help state and local workers at all, claimed House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. No, it doesn't. We need to see, still, the Republicans want to pass a bill to give stimulus to the American people, and they're complaining about their freaking local governments and their cities and their states. They don't care about any of the other states, just the ones that they're trying to keep closed down. Our heroes, hence the name's HEROES Act, healthcare workers, first responders, police, fire, transportation, sanitation, teachers, and teachers' food workers who meet the needs of people will be fired. Yeah, she's trying to act like she cares about this. She don't give a whoop. GOP senators have given a dire prediction for any future hopes for relief and have said it is up to Speaker Pelosi to drop the costly Democrat demands holding up legislation. Senator Ron Johnson, Republican of Wisconsin, rides the elevator after a vote in the Senate chambers, and he is looking very down over this time. Meanwhile, the Senate Homeland Security Governmental Affairs Committee is conducting a broad investigation into the transition period between Obama administration and Trump administration. And Obama is going to pay. His people and his staff are going to pay. They were wrong. They were illegal in their actions. But of course, if we put it through this Democrat-controlled Congress and too many Democrats in the Senate, then the legislation, the thing that needs for change, will not happen. So we encourage you in November, vote them out. Vote them out. On Wednesday, Senator Ron Johnson is holding a vote to authorize subpoenas for several officials in his probe into Obama administration. Additionally, the House is pushing multiple non-discrimination bills forward. The legislation being considered includes bills aimed at protecting pregnant women and workplace discrimination, promoting diversity in education, and condemning all forms of anti-Asian sentiment tied to COVID-19. Finally, the Senate is gearing up to vote on several judicial nominations throughout the week. Boy, so much mess is going on. Well, you're watching The Black Conservative Voice, and I'm your host, David Colbert. We'll be right back with you in a moment.
Commander-in-Chief. It's more than just a job. Since taking office, President Donald Trump has rebuilt our military, repaired a broken VA, and eliminated Soleimani, al-Baghdadi, ISIS, the world's deadliest terrorists brought to justice. Today, America is safer and stronger than ever. Because to President Trump, it's more than just a job. It's a sworn duty to keep America safe.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. You're watching The Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. We're going to go into our last segment here. We're talking about this story here. President Trump hosts campaign rally in Minden, Nevada. On Saturday, President Trump called Nevada's governor political hack during a campaign event in Minden, Nevada. The president said Governor Steve Sisolak attempted to stop the rally from taking place. Here's a guy, he says, calling venues, telling them not to have the rally. He said he was a political hack and then he became governor. He went on to say Sisolak cannot be trusted to hold a fair election in his state and that he is in control of millions of unsolicited ballots. The Republican National Convention sued Nevada back in August over a new voter law which aims to send mail-in ballots to all the state's registered voters. The president also reaffirmed Democrats are doing everything they can to rig November's election. During Saturday night's rally, he slammed Joe Biden and said that domestic terrorism would reign in America if Democrats were to take the White House. And it's true. They can say whatever they want. Oh, we're not going to do that. Yeah, they've lied before and they continue to lie. They lied in my city of Baltimore and they continue to lie to their cities throughout the nation. He wants to surrender our country to the violent left-wing mob. He stated, you know that Biden wins, China wins, the mob wins. And that is correct. According to the president, Biden has no intention of stopping domestic terrorism. Meanwhile, President Trump has assured he will enforce the law. Biden's plan to appease domestic terrorists and make plans to arrest domestic terrorists, he added, he'll never be able to protect your family, your loved ones, or your community. He can't even protect himself. He doesn't even know where he is. Hopefully at the time of this showing, we can show you how he doesn't know where he's coming from. He doesn't know where he's going to. President Trump also took aim at Biden's running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, and reminded voters who will really be in charge if Democrats are elected. And that is Kamala Harris. Because Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is half the time. He can't even complete a full sentence. Watch his interviews. Go on the internet. Watch the new commercial that President Trump put out. He can't even keep his mind straight. When he goes on the interviewers look at him like he's crazy. What are you saying? And they look at each other like, you understand what he's talking about? No, you can't. Any sane person can't figure out what he's saying. Unless it's scripted, unless he has some papers in front of him to read. She rated the #1 most liberal. This is Kamala Harris, a president talking about. And I would say she'll be president within the first month or so, said President Trump. I think it is just an excuse to get the superlibs in there. President Donald Trump supporters rallied prior to the start of the political rally at Minden Tahoe Airport in Minden, Nevada, Saturday, September 12, 2020. The president went on to tout his administration's accomplishments since he took office. Please stop using that word tout. Yeah, I can't stand that word. He put forth his accomplishment. I'm going to start putting that there. About what he's accomplished. He's accomplished a lot. He don't have to brag on anything. We are not stupid. We can see what is going on in this country. He noted he was able to do more for the American people in 47 months than former Vice President Biden has done in 47 years or more. Joe Biden spent the last 47 years selling out America, offshoring your jobs, throwing open your borders, depleting your military, and sacrificing your children's future in China, stated President Trump. I've spent the last 4 years bringing our jobs back to America, securing our borders, rebuilding our military, and standing up to China like never before. He concluded his remarks by urging Americans to get out and vote this November. He promised voters that he will continue to strengthen the United States over the course of a second term. Together with the incredible people of Nevada, we will make America wealthy, strong, proud, and safe again. Added the president, we will make America great again. But let me say a few things before I leave you right now. And that is the fact that you got President Obama, all these other Democrats trying to credit him with what the president is doing right now. President Trump accomplished all these things. He accomplished the economy turnaround. He accomplished the increase in jobs, the decrease in unemployment. He accomplished all those things, not President Obama. We allowed him to be in there for 8 years. The man had proved it from the very beginning that he hated America. He did not like the Constitution. He stand and swore by a document and put his hand on a Bible he doesn't even believe. He doesn't believe the Constitution. So how can we even allow this man to be reelected a second time? President Obama, I'm saying, at that time. Because he didn't believe in the Constitution. This is a man that taught constitutional law, and he grew a hate for the law because he supports the anarchists and the BLM and all these other people out here that's trying to bring America down. How many of y'all heard President Obama talking about the violence in the street or talking about how we can resolve it instead of complaining about President Trump? How do you spend a whole convention just trying to put down the President of the United States? What foolishness. They didn't tell us anything that they were going to do. Not anything other than the fact that lock down our state, lock down our cities, and lock down the country if elected. That's what Joe Biden said he will do, and he said it once again. So people, please get out in November, go to the polls, and vote President Trump back in office, and please give us back the Congress. And I say that we need the Republicans in there. We need them in there if we want to ever continue the increase in the things that are going on in this country right now. Well, I want to thank you for joining me here on the Black Conservative Voice. My name is David Colbert, and I want to say, as I always say, God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Until next time, this is David Colbert saying good night.